Yeah, okay, I'm signing off. You.
And it's Xian Rong from Singapore here. I'll be commenting for the next 2 games together with Jessica.
Yeah, sorry I didn't introduce myself, but I was having Skype issues. As usual, I was having some kind of technological issue with my life.
Oh, I see. Okay, nothing
Basically,
new.
Skype didn't want to go maximize, and then I was like, "Why won't you maximize?" And then it was just like, "Screw you," which is what technology likes with me. It's like, if I don't want to work, whatever.
Okay, is
yeah.
the bottom rack Piotr?
Yeah, no, that's David's rack at the bottom. Piotr's at the top, and it's David to start, and he's drawn no ease. That's all I can say about it. He has drawn no ease.
Well, I mean, he has quite a few choices. He can play admit for high turnover, or he could play fit.
I prefer to get rid of the F here. The F and one of D and M, I think, is good to get rid of, because of course the higher value a tile is, the harder it kind of is to use in a bonus, in theory, and you don't want that many, high scoring tiles on your rack, because while they're good for scoring, they're harder to bonus, and then all that.
And F and M is just one of those combinations where you can get stuck easily, I guess.
Yeah, unless you're part of the mafia, F and M don't work together.
The other common word that has F and M would be mofo, which stands for something vulgar.
Should you just call that to me, or?
No, just citing an example.
Oh well. But yeah, Piotr has the Q and the U, which is nice. It's always good to have those two together. But he didn't get the E he might have been after for Requirer, but he did have a bonus through that A. How dare he miss that? I think.
Well, he arranged the word for a while, but he didn't seem confident about it.
Yeah, I wouldn't be confident of it either. I think I know Quarryman, but a Quarrier just sounds like... What's a Quarrier? That sounds like I'm making it up.
Yeah, it sounds really weird.
I am making it up. And it doesn't mean to be more quarry than someone else.
Yeah.
It's probably the same as a Quarryman. Or a Quarry Woman.
Yeah, and then because of that, you would think that Korea will be invalid. Yeah.
Oh, you can't have a Quarry Woman. That's just sexist. Oh well.
Oh well.
Yeah, oh well. Sexist words. But anyway, David's got lots of bonuses on his rack. Again. And they go down. In front of Choir as well.
And he can also play Autism. Yeah, quite a few choices there.
Yeah, there's 4 7s here. I could probably say I knew like one of them, maybe. But he probably goes for the highest scoring bonus, Thematic. What that does allow, though, is a really easy E front hook for Squire, and that's probably the only thing I would really worry about with a play like Thematic, is the Esquire hook. That's a really easy 40 points that you can give away right there, and I don't like giving away easy points to my opponents. I want them to suffer. In the nicest way possible. I want them to suffer when they play me.
And actually, it might be better to play Autism in this case, because as you said, once the opponent adds the E in front of Squire, he gets like a free 16 points added to the score. Yeah, so even though Thematic scores the highest, it may not be worthwhile.
Yeah, but even with Eticism, you could probably score an easy 40-50 points still if you've got high scoring consonants, because all you need is like H, E, A, and then the rest of the word, and then you've got 40 points right there. But none of the 4 bonuses, Akmites, Eticism, Mycates, and Somatic, do a good job of really limiting the Squire hook. I mean, let's put it this way: you're never not going to play a bonus there. You just want the best way, sometimes, of really limiting what your opponent can score back. I suppose the only good thing is about Somatic is that it does open a second triple. And, you know, if you're going to open 1, you might as well open 2.
Yep, that's a good strategy there.
But perhaps, luckily for David, Piotr's not got the best letters to really maximise Squire. He can't fit re-rig down beside it. He's got a ton of R's, which is not great. I mean, it's never great to have a ton of R's, but
yeah, and unfortunately, I think one of his highest scoring options would be Reggie, R-E-G-I-E. That will keep 2 R's, which isn't very nice either.
Yeah, it's quite hard to see anything that's even good. I mean, I think the best would probably is Reggie, like you said, or Gear, G-E-R-E, down the side of it, or just G-E-R by itself to keep one of the E's. I mean, I think with the kind of hotspot that was, that's probably quite a let-off for David.
Sorry.
In the sense that it could have been so much worse than it was. But the C isn't really the easiest to score super highly off either. You really need...
You need the right combination of letters.
Yeah. And, you know, sometimes when people tell me, oh, I didn't want to open this triple, you know, it's a hotspot, you know, I don't want to give my opponent a triple, whatever. And it's like, well, did you look at what's left or how hard it is to actually make a play fit there? Because sometimes when I think about what I want to play and what it's giving back, like, I try to think of, right, what's the worst that can happen with what's there? So, of course, the worst that can happen with that C is a 9-timer, but you just have to be unlucky to have that. But, like, I'm not seeing, like, maybe the second worst thing is something like Coquettes, but, like, that's super, like, the Q's gone. And it's like Cox something, and then, like, it's not the most dangerous place in the world.
Yes, and since since the C at the second position, you know, it's most likely going to require a word that starts with like AC, ACE, or SC. So there's limited options there.
Yeah, and I can understand why he took it out with Octa. He probably just didn't want Piotr to really score there. But BIOT isn't the best. And there was probably better, but the board just isn't really friendly, and you do kind of want to take out the triple line, especially as David's got like a bonus lead right now.
Personally, I would create more volatility though. I mean, you could play Obian above Daft and create a volatile triple letter score. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're creating another 7 lane. You're creating you know, other high scoring tile hotspots, and you're leaving the triple open. And sometimes triples don't have to be taken immediately. Like, that's the one thing I notice about some players' games. They want to get rid of the triples, like, as soon as they're open, play there. And that's not always the best thing to do. Hey, Piotr's close to some nice words like Editrix and...
Myrex?
Piotr's the top rack.
Yeah, Myrex. M-I-R-E-X.
Ooh, Myrex is nice. I thought you were talking about your racks. I was like, where are your racks? No, there is one possible not on this board, with an H, Heritrix. Wow,
that's a tough spot.
Yeah. Yeah, I I wanted to make a habit of learning the tricks words once upon a time. It didn't work. But yeah, Piotr's going for something similar to Myrex Mixia. Does get rid of an extra tile. It does limit one of the 7 lanes that are open. It's hard to play underneath Mixia as well. You need to have an E at the beginning of a word. That's always hard. At least for me, it's hard.
But the RE fits nicely underneath the ER, and apparently he has RE on his back already. Yeah.
And an S, and a blank.
And a blank, and a tires blank. A Y appears.
A Y. Well, that's probably slightly upsetting, but ever so slightly, because it's still got 6 bonuses on it.
Yes.
But anyway, it's David's turn. And he doesn't have 6 bonuses on his rack. He's almost got idiotic, though.
Yeah. Just need to swap the B for the C.
Yeah, just move that letter one along down the alphabet and you'll have idiotic.
Yep, and he has OBIIT that fits nicely above Daft. It's a good dumper there.
Yeah, he might be slightly worried about the Z with doing something like that. He might be tempted to play underneath Mixia. He may be lining up Adit here. I don't really like that. I just that leave is just, it's just not the nicest thing in the world, and I'd want to avoid it.
Yes, keeping BIIO isn't really helpful unless you're hoping for something like Biotites or Biotic. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't say I'm super excited about Adit here. But
I'm totally against Edit, yeah.
You're against it, I'm like deliberately sitting on the fence. But yeah. It's kind of, sometimes when you make your mind up on a play, you have to think about what else is there. And it's always like, you're never going to get the perfect play all the time. You know, even playing a bonus can be wrong in some cases. And, you know, and David's pickup has basically shown why we didn't like Adit very much. Or at all.
Yes, indeed. Self-explanatory.
Yeah. I mean, sometimes you can get lucky on pickups. And sometimes you can end up with that. But anyway, let's see if Piotr can find a bonus that plays. Now, Daft doesn't have any back hooks. Because, of course, Daft D is IE. I really think it should be Y, but oh well.
Yeah, sometimes these words are really tricky. Like when you learn the word Dafties as a bingo, you have to figure out what's the singular spelling of the word. And it's through trial and error that we find out.
Yeah. Basically, you find out by phoning with them, and then you realise, oh, now that's not a word. I'll never forget that. And then you forget it, and you do it again.
Yeah, usually we learn it the painful way.
Yeah. So I'm sure when we've all started playing Scrabble, we've all put an S on EUOI before.
Ah, Hysteria. Nice.
He needs to go crazy over this one.
Yeah, it's I didn't see that at all. I only spotted Centauri at first. Wow.
Yeah, Speedy Player's valuation has Hysteria as best. I mean, when is Hysteria never good?
Yeah.
I think second best option, look from Speedy Player's point of view, looked to be Pyrite. That would be above Daft, with a 4-tile overlap.
Oh, that would close up the board really early on in the game. Yeah. And
if Pyrite was played, that would probably put David Webb in quite a quandary. Because he'd be sitting there with a rack that just doesn't go with the board. He may have been forced to exchange, but he's not. He's played Oribi. Would you do that over Obit?
No, not really. The only move I'll consider here is Toby. Other than that, it will be the exchange.
Yeah, Toby. Yeah, Toebie.
Because all these scores are so little, so
Yeah.
unless you miraculously draw a vowel, the rec is not going to improve very fast.
Consonant. He needs to draw consonants.
Consonants, yes.
He can draw more vowels if he likes, but they won't help.
Yeah,
oh look, he's drawing like very similarly to what his play was.
Okay, but it looks a bit better now.
It's a bit better. He's got 3 consonants now. I mean, that's always better than 1.
There's some 8s. Yes, I see one. Okay, but it's not his turn now.
Yeah, it's Piotr's turn, and he's got another Y.
No, outlayer seems really tempting at first glance.
But that definitely sounds like something you'd make up, though.
Yeah.
If you could make up a word, it would be outlayer. But yeah, there are no 7s, no 8s, so no Y bonus this time. Y bonuses are definitely something I need to start studying if I ever properly come back to Scrabble. I have a lot of problems when I draw Ys. They're really tricky to get in bonuses, I find.
Same here, like I struggle with Y bingos because they're usually not in the top probability list. So I have to specifically search for Y bingos.
Yeah, other than Elysian and Tailies, however we're going to pronounce that, there aren't many like 1-pointers plus Ys going around. Like Cinturi, like you said as well. There's something that you kind of have to study at some point. Oh, Piotr's showing off his top education with Yale.
34.
Or maybe he's just a locksmith. But that's a cute slot in right there, maximizing the Y for like 34 points.
I'm not sure if dumping the E here is a good idea. Like YA would score quite a lot as well, keeping LE.
Yeah, you keep LEOUR, and as well you're keeping OUR. It's still not the nicest thing in the world. I suppose Yale does have the advantage of blocking the F and the T. But with a floating S, T, Y, and H, you don't need to go around blocking floaters yet.
26.
Oh gosh.
That's really open, that is. That's so open.
But the problem is he left ER on the rack and there's biometer. He played biome.
He typed biome and he missed the biome eater.
Yes! Oh my
No!
gosh.
And in case you're wondering, a biometer probably doesn't measure biomes.
Oh no. Biometer would have blocked Peter's bingo.
Biome is also really aggressive as well.
Yes, so many things could go wrong.
And it did. Piotr spotted it. Handy Draft says there are 5 8s. Aeroduct, Carouse, Croupard, Educator, and Outraced. Carouse is definitely the blockier bonus of the ones that actually play through the T, because you definitely want to, when you play bonuses, you go ahead by a bonus. You want to take out kind of as many floaters as you can. While Biome's blown the board open, you definitely want to, you want to take out the Y. As unlikely as it is, you want to take out the Y as well.
However, in this case, we have to take note that as he played caroused, he exposed the triple letter just above the O, and Z is unseen. It is currently on David's rack.
Yeah, and there's the J as well. And
Yes, so maybe he should have sacrificed a few points by playing like Educator.
or
Yeah,
Aeroduct.
it's safer.
Yeah. Even Aeroduct is less horrible. Yeah, David Webb's just gonna.
Yeah, he's just gonna play POZ like.
And then he's no longer gonna be a bonus behind now.
71.
In fact, is that more than the bingo? More than the score of the bingo? Wow. Not sure.
That has much longs.
That's almost there, like 70 plus.
It's a shame he couldn't really use that Z on the triple. He just didn't have the right letters to get the Z there.
Yeah, it's quite close.
It's close, but no cigars. Piotr must be thinking now, what do I have to do to win this game? I've had 2 bonuses to his 1. And the scores are almost level. And it kind of shows the importance of being able to score between your bonuses and not relying on them. I always like to emphasize that bonuses are not how you win games. They help. They help,
definitely.
but they're not the most important thing in the world. So I would think here, Piotr's probably gonna really look hard at that E of biome.
Yeah, but I doubt he'll be looking for a bingo, like a good score. Yeah, probably just a good score.
Yeah, he wants to get rid of 2 of W, F, and P. He wants to get rid of at least 2 of them just because they're so ugly as letters. You know, that they're not going to help him get another bonus ahead. He may be looking to play above biome. That's quite nice, but I don't think he has the letters to really help him. I mean, a pod goes up there, but could give a lot back. And there's not much else that really goes up there. You know, he doesn't have a word that ends in O, so he can't use the triple at A1 or in the top left of the board if you don't know your board positions. He can't really play under the Z either. Like, that would be great if he could do like WA something.
He could use row 5 though. Horde, for example.
31.
He's going for WAF here for 31. I can't really argue with it, especially as it scores 31. You know, it takes out the triple like he wants. There's no real parallel comeback going on there. The lead's good enough, and yeah, it's fun and great, and it scores enough. And despite not hitting a double word square or a triple word square, it scores 30 plus. And those are the kind of plays that I think are quite missable. So David Webb's now 42 behind, and And there's not much going on. No 7s, no 8s, but he does have that.
Yep, just 3 letters for 47 points. Yeah, huge score there.
Yeah, and at the same time, it prevents Piotr from using that spot for that amount of points as well. And that's always something to consider. For me, anyway, I always consider if I'm playing somewhere, then I want to think about how easy it is for my opponent to score there. And with that place, you know, with the L's, and the A's, and the E's, and the A's, and the K, and everything, it actually does look quite easy to score 40 plus points there. And even though his leave was really ugly, and his ugly leave has manifested into another rack that's even uglier than that rack with all the vowels on it. 47 points is nothing to be sniffed at. But I think the second option on Speedy Player was unwork, and that's something that should definitely have been considered as well, because the leave could have meant a lot. Now, Craig, this is where you need to tell us what that blank is, because it can be a T or an S, apparently.
It should be an S.
But Spooled scores way more points.
Yeah.
And I think those are the only 3 sevens that are possible at all.
73.
Hey, look, an arm. Show us you watch. Oh, there we
He's
go.
playing really cautiously here. Like, he could have played Dew Labs on the right hand side, hooking Yale, but he chose to forego a few points to play at the bottom.
I don't know
Yeah,
which is more defensive or aggressive, really, because the A in that position is kind of whoa as well.
Yes,
Especially
but
with like 2 H's and the J. That could be quite
yeah, but
painful.
the ultimate killer is out, like the X is out, so it decreases the volatility of that spot there.
But then you could also argue he should have seen Spooled as well.
Yeah, spot is definitely the right move if he spotted it, because it's so much more points. Yeah.
And Spooled doesn't have the risk of giving anything like this back. Even though it just leaves that 7 lane open, it's not something you want to worry about. Now, David's lined up in his rack something that sounds like what I would say. Huh? I can't even say hun. Hun? Hun?
Hun?
No. No.
25.
Well, we tried. I tried.
Hun?
Huh? I don't even think I even made that a word. I don't even think it sounded like a word. But he got rid of his clunky letters. He's left 3. He's not duplicated any of the letters on his rack. That was probably the best he could have done with that.
And it happens to block Novine, if I'm not wrong, if that's valid. Yes. Yeah.
Lucky him.
Yeah, lucky.
What a luck box. Even when he's not doing it right, he's doing it right. Even though he still can't draw nice tiles.
Counting.
But in all honesty, Piotr's looking at that tile pool now and is like, there's an A, there's an O, and there's a U in that tile pool. David Webb is not bonusing from this unless he gets very, 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 very lucky. And he just needs to make sure he's not opening something stupid and that he's keeping vowels. Because it's important in this situation where there are no vowels in the pool, especially with 9 tiles in the bag, you need to keep vowels. You're okay with keeping 3 vowels on your rack.
So 3, 8, 6, and 3, 4, 3, 4.
But it's what Piotr wants to do here. Like, I think priority for me is to take out a vowel that gives David some points, and that has to be the A of Dewlaps. I think it's Dewlaps anyway. I'm pretty sure it was an S. And I think Piotr's lined up Neon here under Dewlaps, and that's all right. Neon is fine. Van is
he decided on Van.
Yeah, Van is definitely the more. It's really, really protective as a move. I'm not going to say defensive, it's just protective. He's trying to protect himself from drawing consonants. Because if he plays Neon and he draws 4 consonants, He's got 2 vowels left to maybe make his last 3 or 4 moves left. And I don't think he wants that risk of losing the game because he didn't plan ahead. Yeah, I think Quackle's speedy players' moves there are they're just throwing vowels away at that point. Because you don't want to start throwing the vowels at the board and then you end up getting J stuck or V stuck and you've just destroyed your own chance at winning the game. And I guess in a best match format, you don't want to destroy your chances of winning a game. You want to try and protect that winning chance as much as you can. Because you're not going for spread. But yeah, David's got quite a problem now. It'd be great to see what the win percentage was for him at this point, because I've not got Quackle open. But I can imagine with a rack like that, it's pretty bad being 61 points behind. You know, his best chance would be to try a bonus. But he's also looking at the pool now and he's like, there are 6 vowels left out of 14, so almost half the bag, or half the unseen has vowels.
24.
And he's got to hope that he draws the E's. You know, that's probably his best chance of winning. Fells is probably the best. Just in terms of that it opens another bonus lane.
Yeah, but their bonus will have to start with a vowel then.
Yeah.
It's not easy really with the remaining tiles unseen. Like
Yeah.
you have to draw something like A. Okay, he needs an A definitely.
He needs AEO, basically.
Yes.
Can play Aranus. You know, he really needed there to be vowels in the bag. And as it turns out, G, N, and N are not vowels. They were in the bag, but they were not vowels. And look at David's face. He doesn't look too happy. And somehow Piotr drew another vowel. So that's one less vowel that David Webb has. Which is even more security for him that the game is sewn up.
Counting.
Come on, David, find that vowel. There's one in the bag. Feel it now. Prepare to hide it somewhere in the bag.
Right now,
Maybe.
Piotr just has to make sure David cannot bingo and he wins the game.
Yeah, that's probably the one thing that you have to be afraid of if you're Piotr, and that's the potential that there could still be a bingo in there somewhere. Of all the unlikeliness of that pool, you look at it, you're like, it's ugly. There are actually 3 sevens from that unseen. I've just typed it all into Zarf. Durants, Nagars, and Tan Guns. I have no idea what half of those things are.
Do any of them fit on this board? I don't think so.
There is an 8 as well through the H of Hysteria. From the unseen.
Hang Nest, is it?
No? Shantung.
What?
Shantung.
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 Oh.
Yeah.
I'll be shocked if my opponent plays that suddenly.
I'd ask my opponent what they had for breakfast. Or lunch. So a shantung is a fabric in plain weave having a slightly irregular surface due to uneven slubbed filling yarns. No, let's just forget about that. So Piotr plays Evo. He probably takes out he takes out the 7 lane just in case there is a 7. He also takes out the H, but we know only Shantung went there. So Evo actually doesn't do anything.
But Evo has one possibility of going wrong. Like if Piotr is holding on to JENS, he can play Gions for a hefty 56 points, catching up all of a sudden.
And
I'm really not
Yeah.
sure why he's deciding unworn like WON instead of unworn WORN. Strange.
Oh, yeah. Hey, Piotr scoring some jetons there. I love scoring jetons. We've had le joker, now we have le jeton. Come on, this isn't a game of French, Scrabble.
Oh, jeton
Jeton.
is French?
Yeah, it's French for points, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, jeton is French as well. Yeah, I played Pokemon in French, and I scored some jetons in a game of French Pokemon. But yeah, we're getting a language lesson today from me. Not that my French is any good, but yeah, I think with Unwon as well, David kind of resigned himself to losing the game. I don't think there were any tiles left in the bag at that point, or anything that was really going to change the outcome. But you know, blocking the H as well. Last hope. It's just a case of now playing out the end game as well. I wonder when that will happen. Maybe it'll take another 5 minutes before we end the game.
And out.
So according to Merriam-Webster, which I think is the dictionary Zarf is using right now, jeton means counter.
3-2.
Or at least the first definition of counter. Whatever that is.
And that ridiculous pool of content.
But yeah, I prefer the definition of points.
With all the vowels.
Mm.
And you block both spots.
Oh, I think it's a piece as of metal or plastic used in reckoning or in games.
That must have been your only vowel or something.
Yeah.
And then you picked up no vowels.
Correct, yeah. But I played Kia Burgundy in the end, and I looked at the vowels and consonants. And
Oh yeah, the
3 to
player
1
seems to be discussing the game right
Kia
now.
never scored well.
Oh
was
look,
very
Nasha.
vulnerable to picking consonants, which is
Who
bad.
put a wired head tripe hound on the board?